Alright, today we got a Lexus ES330 that we're gonna be doing some work. We're gonna start with brakes. We're gonna do the two front brakes. First things first, you wanna make sure you lift your vehicle up. Alright, after the car has been lifted, securely placed with jack stands and the wheels chucked, we're gonna go ahead and take off the tire. We're gonna use a 21 millimeter to get these studs off. Let's go ahead and do that. Now after the tires have been removed, we're going to go over here to the brake cylinder, master cylinder, and we're going to go ahead and pop it open. And as you can see, there's a good indication that your brake pads are really low. So now we're going to go ahead and remove this caliper. What we're going to do is we're going to take off this bolt up here, and then this is a 12 millimeter, which I already took out. And we're gonna take off this bolt right here, which is a 17 millimeter. There's one up here, there's one down here as well. So there's two that you gotta take off so that this caliper comes out. I also did spray some PV blaster just because I live in the rust belt and things that get really rusty, as you can see. Alright, after we have removed the caliper from the rotor, we're gonna go ahead and take off these bolts which are holding this caliper, and I went ahead and put PV blaster. So let's go ahead and remove this part. Now after removing the caliper, we're going to take the brakes off, and you just want to make a note of where and how everything is placed. When you get new brakes, you want to make sure it comes with the brakes themselves and the hardware. Sometimes they just tell them just the brakes, so, and we're going to be replacing, that would be your best practice. Alright, so after trying to remove the slide pins to lubricate them and make sure that they're doing okay, one came out. This one, on the other hand, not coming out. And not only on this side, but also on the other side as well. It was extremely corroded in there, and there was like chips and holes and all that, so we're not going to risk that. I wasn't able to find caliper bracket, so we had to get a new replacement. So we're going to be doing a little bit extra. So we're going to go ahead and clamp these hoses, and we're going to just uninstall all this right here, put a piece of paper underneath, whatever, so that all the liquid coming out goes there. And then that's gonna be the next step. So let's take these off on both sides. Alright, so what I did, I took the caliper apart. I took off the sliding pin just to make sure that it's sliding in and out. I'm going to do that on all these parts. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a Permatex brake parts lubricant. But if you don't have your on-hints on that, you can use this Prestone. As long as it's synthetic, and this is important, you want to make sure that it is high temperature. Otherwise, if you use anything else, it's going to get seized up like this one. So don't use that. I've seen people use dielectric grease for spark plugs. Technically you can, because it's silicone and it'll protect against rust buildup, but it's not high temperature. Alright, so I went ahead and put brake grease behind brake pad here where the brakes sit as well. You can kind of see there slightly, so they're going to allow for movement. I added thread locker on the bolts, and then now let's just do the same procedure on the other side. Since this is a brand new caliper, we're gonna bleed the system, make sure there's no air bubbles. So let's go ahead on the other side and do that. But one thing I did want to mention at the end of this brake change is the uneven brake wear. And the reason why was because of this slide pin that was completely seized. It was not going in and out, compared to this one that I showed you earlier in the video. And well, that was the reason why this was needing to be changed, so on and so forth. So just wanted to make a note.